Boomerang, I am back. Let's give it up. Let's show a lot of love for the tunicorns that we had who actually came with some great information. Guys, show them some love in the chat right now. If you're on Facebook Live, show them some love, show them some hearts, show them some like boomerang signs, or you want to call it the vibe sign, or some of you want to call it the peace sign. Show them some love in the chat there. If we can do that, that'd be really, really, really good. Really excited right now. And, you know, while we were on commercial break, we were just sitting here talking and just talking about how fortunate we are right now, how blessed we are to be in the position that we are in right now. See, and life is not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond to what happens. Because life is going to happen, period. End of the day, it is going to happen. And what happens that during those occurrences is some people, as I talked about at Accelerate, become what I call the thermometer. But then some people act as the thermostat. And what we have done, your entire leadership team, your diamonds, and all of those, we have actually decided to be the thermostat. Now, what do I mean? The thermostat sets the temperature. Sets the temperature. All right? So the thermostat is what? It's in charge. The thermostat is going to determine how that room feels. The thermometer is going to reveal it. It's just going to reveal it. So the thermometer is not in charge. The thermometer is nothing but a gauge to say how happy you are or how sad you are. But the thermostat says this room's going to be happy. So when we walked in today, we walked in as thermostat saying, you know what, great opportunity. Let's take a look at what all we've got going on. What can we benefit? How can we now lead? How can we now lead? Because every time something takes place, there's an opportunity for someone or some group to lead. And that's what we've done. We decided to take that responsibility and be the leader. Now, during the break, we were talking about some things, and I'm going to get into my training here. And as T. Gray so eloquently said, and Mark was saying, I will be effective without being eternal. That's my actual statement. I won't be eternal, but I believe I'll be effective. All right, which means that, you know, go ahead and put your pajamas on. All right, put your pajamas on. But no, guys, we have a Sapphire and Above call. I can't wait to have that call with our Sapphires and Above, and it's basically going to talk about being that thermostat. And it's you know, we're really going to cover some of that stuff, and I can't wait to get on the call with all the Sapphires and Above. We got a private Zoom set up that's a leadership-based call. Guys, get to Sapphire, you have to. But anyway, you know, as we talked about things, we've got an opportunity. You know, we're in a home-based business. We do it from home. Many of you right now are sitting at home chilling, and guess what? You're throwing boomerangs out, and somebody is actually going to take that boomerang, go out and travel, and you made money from home. So what we're going to do, we are already the leader in travel when it comes to opportunities and direct sales or home-based businesses. We're the leader in travel. We're already leading in that direction, but let's lead in that home-based business. And so everything that's actually taking place right now is set up for us to win. So I've got a theme song that I want to share with you guys about how I feel about what this next 30 days is going to be like. Now, not only that, but here's what we're going to be doing over the next 30 days. And I need you guys to kind of join me here, not kind of join me, but I need you guys to join me. I'm going to go way back, okay? Because what do we do? All right, when somebody does something pretty cool, what do we say? Boom, right? We say boom when somebody does something pretty cool. Or when we get in our meetings and we do our boom, 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 freedom, right? Now, right now, what is the most stable way for us to give a presentation? Zoom. Zoom, right? So we're on Facebook Live and we're on some other channels as well, but Zoom is always more stable. So what if we did booms and zooms? And this is what we're going to be doing, baby, for the next 30 days. Here is my music right here. All I want to do is win a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. And you're doing it from home, baby. All I want to do is a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. 1, 2. Check, baby. 1, 2, 3. All right. We're going to be zoom, zoom, and a boom, boom. Now, when he says check, baby, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know what that means? He's talking about the fast start accelerator. Check, baby. You got to check on levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They didn't have enough room in the song to give all 7. But that's what he's talking about. I can't wait for that fast start accelerator to hit. I think I've already done some comparisons already, okay? And I think, don't quote me, but I think we had an over 500% increase. 500% increase. What does that mean? That means that 5 times the number of people or commissions were asked, not dollar amount, because there's only 100 pennies in a dollar, okay? But 5 times the number of people will receive a commission on Monday, right? That is what I call boom, boom, boom. And a lot of it was done through Zoom, 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 all right? So 5 times the number of people receiving commissions. Now, here's what's happening. None of you've seen it yet, so the effect hasn't taken place yet, okay? And once you start seeing the effect of it taking place, you get like addicted to it. You get addicted to it. And so I think that's one of the best things that we could have ever had, because now more people are going to be receiving commissions. Here's the cool thing. It's because the number of stories that will be able to be told will increase. When you've got so many people who can say, listen, you know what? I received a commission today. I didn't even sponsor anybody last week. And my pay leg didn't have any activity last week, but ibuumerang just sent me a $50 check, or $50 got deposited in my e-wallet. How did that happen? It's called the Fast Start Accelerator. Now, here's the thing that I want you to do. The next time that you see your diamonds, I want you to just either throw them some peace signs right now, or send a message to your diamonds and give them, and just put the laugh sign, the dollar signs in there, and a thank you, whatever it is. You know why? Because we talked to the diamonds about this at Dream Weekend. All right. And I'm so proud of our diamonds that they're able to take information and keep that information and didn't go out and spoil it for you. But we told the diamonds, guys, here's what we want to do. We want to take everyone and let everybody rise all the way up to the top. And by how we were going to do that is we were going to take a small percentage of the CV and move it so that our elephants and our fish, which means our people who are not networkers, are people who are working really hard and may only have one side of their binary working, but they're making a contribution to the company, but they don't see the return of that contribution, right? And so let's take a little portion of that and let's reposition it, and let's have more people actually get paid from the same work that's being done, and watch what is going to happen. Watch what is going to happen. And so being able to get a smaller percentage of 7 levels is much bigger than just the same percentage of level 1. Okay, we even increased level 1 percentage in terms of the fast track. So now here's what's going to happen. What's going to happen is our dual team, or our binary, I've been teaching some people out there about binary, our binary compensation plan is going to grow. You say, well, how is that going to grow? Because you've got more people who are receiving commissions. The more commissions they receive, not even the quantity of them, but when they consistently receive, it becomes like, wow, I want more of this. So what you do is you reward the behavior that you want repeated. So what gets rewarded will get repeated. So we're rewarding for the small steps that they're taking of working with people on level 1, level 2, or working with people on their strong side, because some people have had the bad habit in the industry of saying, I don't want to work with people on my strong team because there's like thousands of people over there. And I only want to work with people on my pay team or on my smaller leg. Now, you should do both. You should definitely do both, but we reward you for working, period. Whether it's on your right team or whether it's on your left team. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty exciting to have that. It's pretty exciting to have that. So when I looked at the number of fast track accelerator bonuses that are actually being paid out this Monday, it's great. And I can tell you right now, the enrollment numbers, we are already crushing last month. Crushing last month because of It Takes Two. It takes two. That's all. It takes two. You go out and you keep doing your two, and that next level of It Takes Two is taking those two and duplicating it. And you're showing them how to get there too. That's how you make the comp plan work. Don't sit there and try to learn all the numbers. Learning all the numbers, it won't change the numbers. Just because you know it perfectly doesn't increase your volume. But when you do it, okay, when you do it, that's when you start to see the benefit of it. And just start watching people in your groups, you know, and I can give you proof of it. If you take a look at the number of activated boomerangs and even the boomerangs that are actually being sent out now, it's a drastic difference between boomerangs that were sent prior to any travel savings bonuses being paid out. People were sending them out, and they were sending them out in faith, hoping, man, company ever going to pay me a travel savings bonus? Once travel saving bonuses start to hit, now and every single month they're hitting like clockwork, and people who were already working are receiving them on a monthly basis based on their customers' travel habits. But people are sending them out like crazy. Why? Because what gets rewarded gets repeated. And we didn't send them out until September. We've only had 6 months, 5 months actually. 5 months is what we've had of being able to pay. And now that habit has been there. And last month, how many activated boomerangs last month? You said 80-something thousand? 85,000. Do you know that that's almost 3,000 customers per day that's activated, that actually accepts the boomerangs, okay? And so right now, I think we're on a daily basis, we're probably somewhere between 6 and 10 that are thrown out. Some are in, based off of groups as well. When you do groups for a larger group, that percentage may be a little smaller because it's a big group, but it's cranking right now. So I'm really, really excited. How many of y'all ready to zoom, zoom, zoom in the boom, boom with me? Okay. I got the team over here, the Tunicorn, saying they're ready to zoom, 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 and the boom, boom. All right. I hope that doesn't get pulled down off of the internet since I played it from my phone.
We'll fix it.
We'll fix it. We'll fix it?
Yeah, they would just blank out that part. The volume will drop out.
The volume will drop out? Yeah. All I want to do, can I sing? What if I sing it?
You can sing it.
All I want to do in a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom.
Yeah.
All right. All I want to do in a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Okay. All right, guys. A couple things I want to cover with you today. And here's where basic training begins. What I want you to do is I want you to draw a circle on your notepad. Wherever it is that you're taking notes, I want you to draw a circle on your notepad. How are we doing on Facebook Live over there?
Good.
Not getting stuck, is it?
Yeah, a little bit sometimes.
I just want to make sure I don't look like a karate movie.
Yeah.
Well, the experience is better on Zoom. Facebook is live, but it's not our fault.
Okay. And now the Facebook Live is not our issue. A lot of people right now are Facebooking, and Facebook is receiving an influx of videos because of people staying at home. We're going to stay connected, though. I tell you that. We will connect with you. Draw a circle. In that circle, I want you to draw like a peace sign, a line down the center from the top to the middle and then to the left. And so you should have 3 pies. Yeah. You should have 3 pies. I'll show you what it will look like. It should look like this. Uh-oh, somebody give me some paper.
It should look like a circle
I
with
can't
a
draw it
Y.
on tissue. What's that?
It should look like a circle with a Y in it.
I got it, Tigray. An upside down Y. Or it looks like a Mercedes-Benz symbol. You see that? Yeah. Y'all see that? Here's my training. Some of my best trainings are notebook trainings, okay? Matter of fact, give me a sheet of paper. That sheet of paper right there? No, yeah, give me that one, that's fine. No, give me the one that doesn't have something on the back. You got me something? There we go. Awesome. Okay. This right here is proof, guys, that I don't prepare these trainings all the time. They are prepared. Okay. So here's what you should look like right there. Okay. So here's what I want to talk about. There's three components of what it is that we do. Three components of what we do and who we are when it comes to being a business person in ibuumerang. When it comes to being a leader, when it comes to being whatever it is that we're going to do, there's three components of it. Okay. Now, we've got what we call the company. And I want you to write the company in one component of what it is that you have there. Okay. We all work with the exact same company, ibuumerang. We represent the same company. Where you are, whether you're in some country, the most recent country to enroll, ibuumerang, and the website is identical in that country. So is it identical is the US, Mexico, no matter where it is that you go, ibuumerang is the exact same company. Okay. And with our company and the philosophy that we have, our philosophy crosses borders. So we don't have an American philosophy or a French philosophy or an Australian philosophy. We have a philosophy. And we talk about that philosophy, and it's the ibuumerang philosophy. It's not, just one country or one representative. It's ibuumerang philosophy, and it's a global philosophy. Our website is identical. It's exactly the same. Okay. Now, here's the thing that I want to mention as well. Our product and our system. Our product and system, write that in there as well. Product and system. When you take our product and when you take the system, we have the same system. When we talk about the 5 steps of getting someone started, it's 5. No matter where you are in the world, we want you to get the person's testimonial. We want you to make sure they become a jet setter. We want you to build a list of names. We want you to make sure you set up 4 boom parties, okay? And we want to make sure that you get registered for the next event. That's a part of our system that we have no matter where it is that you go, no matter what language we translate it, that's what we do. It's the same. And so we have people who translate it. You're starting to see our Italian group just growing. Why? We've never had a presence really in Italy, not a major presence, but Italy is rocking right now. They came to accelerate, not in the business. They came looking to evaluate ibuumerang. Just a small group of people came to say, let me check this out, and have left and went back, and their whole world was changed. On the way back, they had to change routes because of quarantines, and now it's like the entire country is on lockdown. But it's not about what happened to them, it's about how they responded, and they are boom, 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 and a zoom, zooming right now. Okay? Why? Because they're controlled, they are the thermostat. They decided that they were going to be thermostats. Not only them, I mean, several other people as well, all around the entire world. But I'm using that as an example. But our system is the same. Our compensation plan, it's the same. You get the same number of boomerangs in Italy as you do in America, in Mexico as you do in America, in Thailand as you do in America, in Canada as you do in the US. the same number of boomerangs. So if we're going to give you the exact same number of boomerangs, and our compensation plan is identical and the opportunity is available for every single person that's here. You say, well, Edwin Haynes has an advantage. Well, if that's the way you want to look at it. You say, well, Jose Luis, our top gun winner, Jose Maylin, he has an advantage. Well, if that's the way you want to look at it, do you know how much time he has to invest into his leaders? Do you know, from Edwin Haynes' perspective and Jose Luis's perspective, they don't have as much time available to go out and build like you do. Sometimes they look and say, wow, I wish I had the responsibilities of a sapphire or a ruby or emerald, because I'd be on fast track towards black diamond or blue diamond, okay? So I want you to understand it's always easy to look at what somebody else's advantage is and you judge their positives and you compare it to your negatives. You're always going to put yourself at a disadvantage when you do that. You are right where you're supposed to be. Do you know that there's so many companies out there? I was on a call yesterday with other CEOs of network marketing companies, and there's some of them who they were preparing for a 25% decrease in revenue. I got on the phone with T. Gray and I'm like, we're going to increase. I'm not preparing to, I'm going to no, I'm preparing to lose? No. Now, I'm not blind, and that doesn't mean that I don't understand that there are some others that may not see what I see, but my preparation is, let me look at all the advantages. Why? Because even in a perfect scenario, we were never taking full advantage of what we got. And so sometimes the best of you comes out when something is taken away from you, okay? See, if we remove certain restrictions, that's when people perform, okay? That's when people perform. Why do we put a tiered system on the event tickets and raise the price to $299? Because we take away that ability for you to get it at a discount, and it motivates you to get it at a discount. We don't ever want to sell a $299 ticket. But we have to put it in there because when we remove it, you perform better. When we say, hey, listen, you know what? Tickets, the early bird price is going up tomorrow. That's when we sell the most of our tickets, because we're taking something away and you perform better. Why do I talk about that? Because we've got the same product. We got the same system. Everybody's got the exact same iGo platform. Well, in my country, the percentages are not as great on a discount. Yeah, but the prices aren't as high either, okay? And so if you're coming from a place, you know, where you've got a lot of very expensive hotels and you go to average 5-star hotel in America is $500 a night, but maybe in your country, you know, there's not as many 5-star hotels and they only average $200 a night. There's more availability for a discount with a $500 a night hotel than there is with a $200 a night hotel, okay? And so I want you to start understanding that it's not woe is me, because many of us have prepared ourselves to be victims. Our whole life we've gone through and without us even knowing, we've prepared ourselves to be a victim, and we always look at how great somebody else has it, and we always tell our sob story about how bad it was for me. ibuumerang is an equal opportunity. No matter what your race is, your religion, no matter what your male or female, married, single, doesn't matter. You can be from Yale or you can be from jail. It doesn't matter. We don't care about what your CV was or your resume was in a previous opportunity or previous business. It's equal for everyone who enrolls. Our compensation plan is equal. And so if all of those things are equal, our company is the same company, our system, our compensation plan, and our product is the same, why is it that we have some who are crushing it and some who's focusing on the crumbs? And that's what I want to talk about here. The third component that I want you to focus on and write in there is you. Boy, my team, I got the best team in the world. They know where I'm going. They know it. All right? They're just putting this stuff together as I'm talking. It's you. Okay? That's what I want to talk about. You. You is what makes the difference. So what I want to do for a few moments here, obviously today's extended. You don't have anywhere to go. So just sit back, chill, put your pajamas on. They talked about having, boom gear with military, with our, not military, but our, what do you call it, our army fatigue? Yeah, camo. You know what we need to get? I'm going to tell Tunde, he needs to make some lounge wear. Let's get some pajamas because you're going to be working. You're going to be boom, boom, booming and zoom, zoom, zooming from your pajamas. Yeah. We want to create some pajama millionaires out there. How many people want to be a pajama millionaire, right? Right now, go back to T. Gray's disclaimer right now after I just said that, okay? All right. But yeah, let's talk about you for a moment. I want to talk about you because I remember getting involved in network marketing. I was 18 years of age, 18, okay? And it was the same company for so many people. And you guys know my story, 7 years, I never made more than $500 a month. But I was 18 years of age when I got involved in that company. And all that I had been taught, everything that I had been taught from my mom, from my dad, from my school teachers, from grandparents, from cousins, aunts, whatever it is, all of that, I brought all of that information, whether you want to call it baggage or luggage or information or history, I brought all of that into that business at the age of 18. I brought skepticism in. Why? Because I was taught to be skeptical, not intentionally, but just through conversation. My mom would always say things like, son, listen, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Don't talk to strangers when I was 5 years old. Now when I got in network marketing, they say, go up and meet people. I'm like, hold on for a second. I've been programmed all my life, don't talk to strangers, but now you want me to talk to strangers? Okay. I've been taught to, make sure don't talk outside of my house. And so I would never go out and talk about business or tell business. Now I'm in business, I have to talk about business. It was a total mind shift for me. Okay. And I'll never forget when I get in trouble, sometimes my mom says, son, you talk too much. And guess what I do? I shut down. So I thought at that moment, I didn't have anything important to say. She wasn't trying to belittle me. And you guys know, I love my mom, I do. But I talk about it so that you understand the small subtleties that take place that infiltrate one's brain. And those things affect people a little bit different. And so here I am, I'm signing up into this new business and I see the stage and I see the people from the stage walk across the stage who've got lifestyle, and my subconscious mind says, I talk too much. What I have to say is not important. I remember times when my grandmother, and I'd leave out of the house as a little kid and my cousins, we'd run in and out of the house. And she yelled, close my door, you're letting my cold air out. Close that refrigerator door. I remember the time when we would have the couches and we'd have plastic on the couches. And as a kid, we'd be in the living room and my grandmother would say, get out of there, get out of that living room. But when total strangers like the insurance man would come, she'd allow them to sit in there. And my subconscious mind would say, I'm not good enough to sit in a good room. It's reserved for strangers, people who don't love you, people who don't even know you. You'll treat them better than you'll treat your grandson. This is my subconscious mind and how my mind was thinking. And so I grew up thinking, I am not worthy for greater things. We break out the nice silverware and the nice plates for guests and for strangers, but I have to eat off of a paper plate. Now, I'm not judging if any of you do the same thing. I'm just telling you that those are the symptoms and those are the things that many of us have grown up with that causes us to get involved in our business. And there's a particular place on the personal development scale that we actually enter the business. And I had a lot of good that my mom poured into me, but I can tell you all the doubt, fear, worry, skepticism is what came out of me when I first entered network marketing. That was what it was. That's all that I knew. I was talking, we were talking, had a conversation, Erlene and I, with another couple recently who's not even in this company here. And they're leaders, and they're making close to $1 million a year. And the spouse was talking, saying, "We're so appreciative of you guys, and we watch you guys." And my husband bought me a new car, and for the first 3 months, I just let it sit in the driveway. I wouldn't even drive it. And she drove that little practical vehicle that she had. Why? Because she didn't feel worthy. She felt like, she had, at that time, she hadn't grown into the wealth. She hadn't grown into the success that they had. Luckily, the husband at that time did, and he understood it. She felt guilty every time she went into that garage and saw that car, because people had programmed her mind that people in Africa are starving. And in her mind, it was her fault because she's got a brand new $100,000 SUV. Things like that. But she said she's better now, and she drives it now, and she's getting better, and she's getting better, and she's getting better. But see, some of you right now, if you go back, and this is not about going back down memory lane, but you have to understand where you've come from in order to get to where it is that you want to go. And here's what you can't do. See, you can't use a broken down vehicle to win the race. You can't. See, I can tell you right now, how many of you have the first iPhone? How many of you bought the first iPhone? Why don't you try to use the first iPhone? Go power it up if you still have it. And see if you can stream Facebook. See if you can stream Zoom from it. You can't. Why? It wasn't prepared. It wasn't ready for the amount of data that we actually send through communications today. And so what has happened is that iPhone went from the iOS 1, and then you know what they did? They did an upgrade. And then they did another upgrade. And then they did another upgrade. And right now we're probably at iOS 13 or something like that?
Yeah, 13.
We're on 13. There's been 13 different upgrades of the iOS software system. And I think the first iPhone came out, maybe how many years ago? Maybe about 10 or 11 years ago. So every year there's a brand new system, and there's upgrades within that system. See, within that system, they do an upgrade. Every year they have what's called a convention. They have vision, where the major upgrade takes place, but throughout the year, they have a system. And they're gonna also have Accelerate, and they're also gonna have Dream Weekend, and they're also gonna have Go Diamond, whereas they update their software. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I want you to understand. The number one corporation that you will ever run, I call it You Incorporated. You Inc. Not ibuumerang. Ibuumerang is the vehicle, the corporate vehicle. Yeah. But you are the driver. See, in business, there's a term that venture capitalists use. They say, hey, never bet on the horse. Put your money on the jockey. Put your money on the jockey. And see, I applaud many of you, because one of the main choices that you chose when you joined ibuumerang was because you bet on HB. You said, I don't understand this comp plan. I don't understand this boomerang thing. I know this Prib sounds delicious. but HB wins wherever he goes. Because you have no evidence that what we're doing could ever work. But you did have evidence on the jockey. And so what I want you to know is that ibuumerang is the horse. You're the jockey. Let's bet on you. So my question for you is this. When is the last time you've upgraded? When is the last time you've had that Wi-Fi download so you can be you 2.0? See, we upgrade these mobile phones, we'll upgrade our computers, our software, we'll upgrade all of these different things that we have out there. And then we think those are the things that we need to grow the business. We'll upgrade our cars, we'll upgrade our televisions, we'll upgrade our electronics. But when are you going to upgrade you? I want to talk to you about how to do it. Okay? I want to talk to you about the basic element, because here is the foundation that I want to talk about, because if we don't have the proper foundation, we can't build on. And what I'm talking about right now is getting you ready, not for the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Guys, our vision now is so far past what's going on and with the next 2 weeks or the next 2 months or 3 months. Our vision is we're making shifts. We've already made some adjustments. We've made corporate adjustments. We've made inner office adjustments. We're making communication adjustments. We're making distributor training adjustments. That stuff is done. We were on calls all day yesterday making all of those adjustments, and we are ready. We are ahead of the curve. We don't know all of the future, but we're prepared to make the adjustments. Why? Because we decided we're upgrading us. We did an upgrade yesterday. It was a decision. It's time for each one of us to become bigger. So let's talk about this thing up here. Let's talk about how you upgrade. Let's talk about you. And when I'm talking about you, I'm talking about how you think. I'm talking about the decisions that you make are based off of all of the data and the information that you gather. If you heard my talk earlier, I told you, I wanted to get as much data, I wanted to get as much input, I wanted to talk to as many intelligent, smart people and find out as much information as I possibly could without stalling. And then collectively, I will make an educated decision. And you know what? I'm not worried about making the right decision, as I told you. I make the decision, and then I'll make it right. And once we made our decision as how we're going to proceed, everything we're doing now is we're making it right. We're not going back saying, did I do the right thing? Did we do the wrong thing? Should we have waited longer? Should we have acted sooner? Should we have done this? Should we have canceled? Should we have waited? Should we? No. We made a decision. We made a decision. Napoleon Hill says, one of the keys to success, one of the common elements between successful people and people who don't succeed, people who fail, or people who fail to achieve their dreams and goals in life, is that people who fail to achieve their goals, they make a decision and then they immediately go back and contemplate the decision that they've made. I don't know if I made a mistake. I don't know if joining this time was the right time. Should I have done this? And they have what I call buyer's remorse, not just on business. They have buyer's remorse on decision making. Once they buy the decision, they realize they shouldn't have bought it. And what they end up doing is they put it on layaway. They lease their decisions. This is why they don't own much. But he said the common thing between people that he studied over 20 plus years of the most successful people in the world, they all have something in common, and many of them didn't even know each other, is that once they make a decision, they make the decision and they don't look back, and they live their lives in the future versus looking in the rearview mirror trying to adjust what happened yesterday. So thing number one I want you to do, I want you to learn how to own it. You're here for a reason. You're in this business for a reason. I don't care if you signed up yesterday. Some people will sign up yesterday and they'll watch CNN and see there's a state of emergency. There's a state of emergency, and you are the person to provide relief. Oh, the president said there's a state of emergency. I don't know if this is the right time to fight for my freedom. I don't know if this is the right time for me to work on becoming financially independent. This is the best time. Why? It's an example of, are your affairs in order? Many of us right now, we wish we would have been further along financially with our family security than we currently are, because you don't ever know what's happening. I got to tell you this, and I'll be candid with you. I had two emotions. I had two emotions when I woke up. When I heard some of the news, one emotion I celebrated for a very short period of time. I'm gonna be candid with you. Yes. Why? Because I remember making a decision saying, if something ever happened, I don't ever want to put my family in a position that they have to panic. It's my job to provide. My job to provide. And so I did one of these yes things because our affairs are in order. But quickly, I got out of it. And the other side of the emotion that I had is enough of my family and enough of our people, their affairs are not in order right now. And that's many of you who are on this call right now. That's why we're doing this call. I wasn't supposed to do today's call. We made adjustments. Hey, boot camp starting today. Hey, listen, here's what we've got to do. Call an audible, and this is what we've got to do. It's just what it is. So our goal is to get you right and to get you ready. Okay? Get you ripe and get you ready. So let's talk about that input. What we can't do is I can't change yesterday. I can't change that you maybe failed the second grade. I can't change maybe you were bullied when you were 4 years old or 8 years old or 10. I can't change the fact that you've been, divorced 5 times or 3 times or whatever it is. I can't change that whatever happened in your past. I can't change that. You can't change it. But what you can make a decision, what you can do, you can make a decision that I won't dwell on that. That won't be my number one conversation. And here's what I'm going to ask you. When you have conversations with people in general, do you believe your conversations are uplifting? Or do you believe after people talk to you, they're like, wow, oh my goodness. I wish that conversation had only lasted 30 seconds or 10 seconds. Or do people say, man, I wish I was able to be around her for another hour because what she was talking about was so uplifting. Okay, so you're the thermostat. Here's how the mind works. Everything that you have contributes to all the decisions that you're making right now. And so this is why some of us are successful and some of us are not successful, but you can change it. You can change it. Your mind operates, let's just say that your brain operates like a navigational system. Let's explain that, because I'm going to share with you how to input the right information so that you can get to the destination that you want. If you remember in the early stages, and I always talk in early stages because we have so many millennials in here, Kitchia was in here today. I really was so upset because we just told her to look up the Boom 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 from the Zoom Zoom song. And she's like, that song is all the way back from the 1900s. And we were like, just the anyway. We felt experienced, put it that way. But if you remember those first TomTom navigational systems or those that came out, do you remember in the early stages, you would put in a destination and it would take you to the wrong place? You know why it would take you to the wrong place? Because that was the early stages of them building new data. Why? Because the old way that people would navigate is to take out a map and look and follow some street signs or whatever it was. And that's how we actually got around. And I never forget, I would travel all around the United States. I traveled from Houston one time to Memphis, Tennessee, using a map. I traveled from Tampa all the way to Houston, to Dallas, all the way back to Atlanta. And there was no navigation. It was just using a map, the old way. Didn't know how long it was going to take, had never been there before whatsoever. Navigational systems came out. Why? Because people start studying the brain. How does the brain work? And what they did is they mimicked navigational systems off of how our brain works. So in the beginning, in the early stages, you would actually put in a destination and you would get there to that destination and you show up in the middle of nowhere. Do you know why? Because the correct answer had not been input into their database. Let me explain. That information had not been in there. They had not mapped out that location yet. And so sometimes it would take you 35 minutes the wrong way. This is why some of us are in the wrong direction and we're trying to hit sapphire, and what it's doing is pushing us way back down to director. Because you're using information on the download that existed 3 years ago. So the new information that's required for you to get to your destination hadn't been input up in here, or you haven't let it settle in up in here. You haven't given new information or new signals enough, or the correct signals. And so what's happening, it's almost as if I took an IBM compatible computer and I was trying to put the software on this MacBook that's in front of me. Here's what it's going to say every single time. And when I go to recall that information or to execute the software or execute the plan, it's going to say error, error, error. Why? Because that hard drive or that operating system, the brains of the computer, does not have the foundation of information to allow that execution or that signal that you're sending to actually take place. And your brain operates the exact same way. If you're sitting around and what your whole idea is going to be now is Netflix, CNN, or Fox, or MSNBC, and when you're looking at going sapphire, ruby, emerald, diamond, and when you meet the person that can be the next biggest thing in your organization, and you send the boomerang to them and your invite to them before the boomerang, you're not speaking the same language. And your subconscious mind will have been programmed with, woe is me, or all of this negative information, the sky is falling, and trust me, it comes out. It seeps out of your pores. You can't help it because it's in your subconscious mind. Your hesitancy, your uncertainty, you can't see it or sense it, but the right person, they can. Why? They used to be where you are. I can sense when somebody is lying to me. I can sense when somebody is faking. I can sense when somebody is only talking and they don't believe. And they're just giving me lip service. I can sense when somebody needs me. I can sense when they're really successful in their business. Why? Because I've been there. And they think that they're hiding it from me, and they're not. We see you. We see 15 hours of CNN that day, listening to where the virus is now, instead of being in the CEO vault, listening to Accelerate over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Some of us are going to allow our $200 a month cable bill keep us from making $200 grand a year. So this is a moment right now for you to perform your own upgrade. The only thing we can't do is we can't sync your Wi-Fi for you. We're going to throw the signal out there. We're going to put it out there. We can't sync it up for you. So what happens is you're now trying to start from where you are right now, and you're looking to go from point A to point B. Point A to point B, maybe I'm looking to become senior director. Now, here's my question. How much is television at this moment going to help you go senior director? Let's be candid. I'm not going to tell you don't watch TV. I don't believe, I am not going to say, guys, don't watch television. I'm not. What I am going to say is limit it. Schedule it. If you want your update on the coronavirus, schedule. Say, you know, I'm going to get 15-minute updates. I'll get it at 7 o'clock in the evening. Don't start your morning with it. I'll get it at 7 o'clock in the evening. Well, it's addictive. Do you know why they have millions of people? Because they're so good at making you want to come back for more. And they'll give you enough information, and then they'll throw out a little carrot and say, well, when we come back, we're going to discuss the biggest breaking news. And you're like, okay, I got to find out what the biggest breaking news is. So you wait till the commercials go through, and you sit there and you wait and come back, and it's not bigger breaking news. And all they do is they take the same story and reshape it over and over and over and over and over again. They say the same thing. Oh, and I'm not mad at them. Remember, everybody has their roles. Their job is to report the news. Our job is to create it. Our job is to create the news. Our job is to create the news and give people something to talk about. All right? But they're very good. They're not on television because they're bad. They're on television and they occupy so many eyeballs because they're good. Facebook is excellent. And right now, many of us are going to, our thumbs are going to get memed to death. And you will know every meme in the world. And you'll find every joke in the world. And you'll find every character in the world. And you'll find, why? Because now you've got time. But my question is, how much of that information is going to take you to your destination? How much? If you have 5 hours of CNN, does it take you closer? What if you have 5 hours of just listening to Cesar Munoz? If you only listen to Cesar Munoz, his talk from Accelerate, and you listen to it 10 times, I think he had 30 minutes. If you listen to it 10 times, that will be 5 hours. Well, Don Lemon's going to say the same thing over and over and over again. Why don't you listen to Cesar Munoz? Why don't you listen to Johnny Wimbrey? Why don't you listen to Edwin Haynes? Why don't you listen to Jose Luis? Why don't you listen to Peter and Karen Hirsch over and over? Why don't you listen to, Rodolfo and Esteban? Listen to Sam Bean's talk over and over and over again. Listen to the ladies panel, okay? When we put those up, we're going to give you, Mark says we're going to give you another 2 hours of talks, of trainings this week here. Okay? Listen to it. First, you got to subscribe. $19 a month. We don't even charge until the 6th month. Why? Because we want you to tune in to the proper navigational system. So what our role and goal is making sure that we put the right data in. We can't worry about your history, where you've been, but we've got to put enough of the right, correct data, the right vocabulary. We've got to sink it in so that when you speak, you're speaking from the new download, not the old download that you have. iOS 1 does not work with Facebook. It doesn't. It can't handle it. So U 1.0 does not work with success. It doesn't. HB 1.0 was $250,000 in debt. He was 45 days away from foreclosure. He had just had his car repossessed. That was HB 1.0. HB 1.0, $500 was the maximum earnings in 7 years. Some of you, your path may be shorter or longer, but you're going to have to go through that path anyway. But I'm so glad, I'm so grateful, and I didn't even know really what I was doing when I stayed into the books, and I stayed into the tapes, and I stayed into the audios and videos. I did it, and I became addicted to it. Why? Because I had heard a successful person, someone that I had never met, who was my mentor. I still never met them, never will, they're gone now, who told me the only difference between a millionaire and a ditch digger are the books they read and the people they associate with. And because that person was successful, my antennas said, I need to listen. That was one great thing my mom did. My mom told me, son, listen to successful people. My grandfather told me, son, make sure whatever you do, follow somebody who's done what it is that you want to do. And so I was programmed to listen to somebody who had my answer, but not continue to associate with the people who had my same problem. And so I listened. So he says, oh, the only difference is, he didn't say the difference is, oh, Holton, you were born in Ponce de Leon Projects, Tampa, Florida. You were born when your mom and dad were never married. You were born, you had a single mother who raised 3 boys, so you can't be successful. He didn't say, well, Holton, you know what, you're a slow reader, your mind wanders, and people would have called you, said that you got ADD. They didn't say that. He didn't say that. He didn't say any of those things. He didn't say, oh, Holton, you guys are so poor, you didn't even have a telephone until your senior year of high school, home phone. He didn't say, well, Holton, you know what, you guys moved every 6 months, and because, your mom didn't make enough money and you got evicted from every apartment, every 5th month we were getting evicted in our 6th month. So you can't be successful because you've got a long eviction record. He didn't say that. He didn't say, Holton, you know what, you're not going to be successful because your SAT scores, okay, were about the same as your credit score. You know that's low. He didn't say any of that. He said the only difference between a millionaire and a ditch digger was the books they read and the people they associate with. And I started reading books, and I started listening to audiobooks, and I started creating a library. Why? I wanted to get more information and download more and more and more information. And the more information that I would download, the better I felt. Try waking up in the morning and make sure that your cell phone is off. Go to sleep with it off. Try to wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is talk to yourself. Try to wake up in the morning and the first thing that you hear is something from the vault. Try to wake up in the morning and maybe do your meditation and just talk to yourself. And watch the difference that it makes. Guys, listen, I'm telling you, every news station out there, every media station, they're competing for your attention. They are. They're competing for it. They want your time. They want your attention. They want it, and they're very good. They spend billions of dollars to make sure you tune in. Don't think that this is just by happenstance. Do you know why they're able to do it? Because they know you haven't decided to become the thermostat. They know that you've not decided to be in control of your own life. I know how it feels to pick up the phone and feel like you got to look at your Instagram and you got to go check and see if you got 6 more likes over the last year. You know what I did? I took my social media and I hid the icons. I made sure they weren't on my first page. Why? I've got to intentionally go look for it. I didn't cancel it. I didn't do extremes. Oh, I'm off of social media. No, I just said the first thing on my screen is not going to be my social media. It's not. I don't know where my icons are. I do know I've got 105,000 unread emails. And I got 273 unread text messages, 14 unanswered phone calls, 15 unanswered Skypes. Why? I'm busy going on. My job is not to answer the phone. Again, some of us think that just because a person calls that you've got to answer it. No. That's why we've got voicemail. That's why we've got messaging. Okay? I'm not saying ignore important stuff, because some of us will take this and be extreme, and that's not what this is about. This is about I'm in control. I'm the thermostat. I'm the thermostat. You were the thermostat. That's what you were designed to be. And so instead of me going all over the place, and here's what I learned here. Here's what I learned. I want to draw something else out for you. Mark, find a map, the maps that are in the mall that says you are here. And, I want to talk about that for a minute. Because as we're talking about this navigational system, here's what I did notice. I noticed that when we go to a mall, okay? Now, Ladybug, you guys know, you can drop her off blindfolded, spin her around 18 times, drop her off anywhere. She knows exactly where to get and how to get to places. She just knows how to do that. Okay? Me? I got to go find that little thing. I got to go find that little box that says, you are here. And so the first part of my talk, and I'll be wrapping it up, was about where you are. Recognizing, where is it? Where am I? On the scale of 1 to 10, based off of all of these things that he's mentioned, where am I? Let's be real. Because once you know, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand, there's 3 ways, 3 steps that you take to change. You want to change directions? You will not change directions based on this call alone. No. Some of you are 35. It's taking you 35 years to get this far off track. A 2.5-hour call? It's 3 hours. It's not going to change your direction. What it will do and what it can do is it can give you a conscious interrupt. It can do that. Okay. Your mind, I know I've got the sapphire above call, but
we already messaged them.
Okay, great. Because those who, you know what, I'm going to take my time, because those who need this need it. Okay, and there was this new Netflix movie that they came out with Robert De Niro. What was it called? The Irishman. The Irishman. It's 3 hours or something. Mm-hmm. Some people watch it 3 times.
What?
Which is cool. When is flight school going to end? They're going on loan. Thermometer. That's the thermometer in you that's talking. But there's some people, I haven't even checked the chat. I bet there's some people out there saying, HB, keep going. Yep. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. We can go to we can entertain ourselves. We don't want the party to stop, but we do want education to slow down.
So I said, thank you, Mr. Bugs. I appreciate you taking your time. I need this.
Listen, I need it. I need it. I'm not perfect in this. I told you, I was looking at my phone, and I was like, you know what? I found myself looking at social media or whatever it was, and I'm like, hold on for a second. I don't have time for that. Okay? I don't have time for that. And because I'm the thermostat, I make the adjustment. Okay? So we look at this thing, says you are here. You are here. Now, I'm going to give you 3 steps, and they're going to put them on the board. There's 3 steps to change. 3 steps. Step number 1 is awareness. Awareness. You must become aware. That's why you are here is so important. See, if I'm looking for the store and I keep looking without the proper download or proper information, and I just ignore where I am, that's my fault. It's going to take me much longer. I'll spend more energy. I'll be more tired by the time I actually find it. And when I do find it, it's going to be because of just coincidence, not a strategic plan. So what I will do is I'll go look at the little map that says you are here. And I'm aware of where I am. You become aware of your surroundings, of where you are. If on the levels 1 through 10 on a personal development, if you're a 3, be grateful that you know where you are. Don't lie to yourself saying, oh, I'm a 10, when we have to ask you, did you buy your ticket for Accelerate? Or did you get your ticket for the next event? If your upline has to consistently ask you, you're not an 8 yet. Okay, you're working on it. So you got to understand where you are. And once you understand where you are, that's called awareness. Step number 2 is that you've got to accept it. You got to accept it. How do you find out where you are? One good way is ask your trusted upline who's plugged in. Here's the thing. You need to make sure that you are really ready for the truth. Make sure you're ready for the truth. Some of us, we go to people. Here's one of the famous things that I get. I gotta be candid. I have people who come to me always in the early stages, when they're excited. Hey, HB, listen, if there's ever anything that I'm doing wrong, man, I want you to come. I just want you to be honest with me, and I want you to tell me. And normally when I hear that, I put my head down because I'm like, this is the person who really doesn't want to know the truth. Most of the time, that's how it is. And it may be a year later, now that they've had some success, now that they've been on the stage, now that they have a little bit of a platform, you come back and you tell them, hey, listen, you're off base. And they can't accept it. So you've got to be willing to accept the truth. Okay? And if you're the one giving the advice, this is not a moment that you're using to suppress them emotionally. You've just got to make sure that you give them the truth. Don't use that as a weapon. You just got to tell them the real truth of what it really is. Okay? And because I've seen it over and over again, because they never make any adjustments, and they fight it 100%, and they never accept it. So awareness, number 2 is acceptance. I love it when I come to my team. Hey, we have an adjustment that we need to make. We do? Okay, talk to me. Now, nobody just accepts it willingly with a big smile. I can tell you right now, I've gone to Ed, I've gone to T. Gray, I've gone to Mark, I've gone to our entire team. Hey, listen, here's some adjustments that we've got to make. I appreciate it. You'll see better. That's all I want to hear. And I just want to see better. That's it. That's when I know I can rock with you. But when I come to you and I tell, hey, listen, here's an adjustment that you need to make, and you fight it tooth and nail, you're not ready. You're still you 1.0, first version of you, okay? So third thing that you do, recondition. Awareness, here's where I am. I found my spot on the map. Number 2, acceptance. You have to accept it. Yeah, this is true. I am standing here next to Dillard's. You can't look at the map, you're next to Dillard's and say, no, I'm not, I'm next to Neiman's because you like Neiman's better. When the big Dillard sign is right there. When we're saying, hey, listen, you know what? The way you talk to people is bad. And you're like, no, I don't. But nobody's around you. That's the big Dillard sign. We're saying you are in a position where people don't want to be around you. You're like, that's not true. but nobody's around you. That means you're not accepting it. Okay? So you have to accept where it is. Okay? Got Tooney just walking in here. He and I, we have our conversations too. He leave out crying sometimes.
Crying in baseball.
No crying in baseball. We said there's no crying in boom gear. All right? But it's the truth. Why do I tell them the truth? Because I love them. Why do I tell them the truth? Because if I don't tell them the truth, I'm lying to you. They're serving you. So I've got to make sure I give them the right information so that they can grow, so that they can be truthful to you about us being better. Okay? So recondition. How do we recondition? We recondition with new information. Right? What we don't want is this. We don't want the successful person that you send the boomerang to, that you send an I decide to, and your messaging, it looks like need. We want you to change. We want your verbiage to change, the way you communicate, the small things. If you read successful books about successful people and listen to the language that successful people use, what will happen is you will start downloading those words. And when you start, now there's a language, because remember, successful people, there's a language that they speak. It's almost like me going to France and speaking, trying to understand French. When they speak a different language, I speak English, they speak French. That is just linguistic differences. But there's a different language of the successful and the unsuccessful. So if I'm going out and I'm prospecting a guy who's already doing extremely well, and I'm using words like, he says, well, how's the business going? Well, it's going pretty good. That language, he understands that this is not the guy I need to be connected with. Okay? Hey, listen, when are you going to get that I decide to me? Yeah, I'll try to get it to you today. I'll try. We don't use words like that. Oh, I'm going to try to make it to the meeting. We already understand who we're dealing with when you hear words like that. I never forget, Fred, we were interviewing Fred, and this was my first, I'm a leader. I teach. I don't care who you are. I'm going to teach. On the interview, we're Skyping the interview, and Fred just said, how you doing? Oh, fair to middling. I already knew who he was. I'm like, I like this guy. And when I talked, I said, oh, hold on. No. We're going to change that language. I said, you know what fair to middling is? It's how they grade cotton. We ain't fair to middling, okay? I want to know, are you incredible? Is your response going to uplift me? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And he has erased fair to middling out of his vocabulary. I hadn't heard that word since then. Okay? Because I know, I'm like, no, you can't communicate that to my leaders. They're going to be like, Holton, this is the wrong person. We're not fair to middling. We're correct. We're great. We're incredible. We're fantastic. Peter knows when he calls me. Ask Peter Hirsch. When he knows it's predictable. Man, I already know you're fantastic. I was talking to him over dinner, and he told me, he says, man, my self-talk has completely transformed. He says, I could kick myself right now by how I used to think. And all I'm sitting there thinking is saying, I'm doing my job. Because if he's better because of hanging around me, I'm doing my job. And it's one by one, by one, by one, by one, by one, by one. I'm not going to allow you to self-sabotage in front of me. On my watch, not going to happen. You're not going to be able to use language that takes you further away from your goal. Around me, just not going to happen. Either I'm going to stop being around you or you're going to change. Not going to happen. I'm going to make sure I'm the thermostat of the thermostats. That doesn't mean I'm bigger or better. That's the role that I've assumed. So you change by, number one, self-talk. 70% of the conversations that you've ever had in life are between you and you. 70%. See, in your mind is comprised of two different states. One is called a subconscious state, and one is called a conscious state. And your life is driven 70% of the times by the subconscious, not the conscious, the subconscious. The subconscious has more dominant control over the conscious. The conscious is nothing but the thermometer. The subconscious is the thermostat. So here's what happens. This is why it is completely impossible for you to act inconsistently with what your programming is. It's impossible. This is why right now, if I have repeatedly put an address into a navigational system, it is impossible for someone to continue to put that address in and not get to the destination that they want to get to. In the beginning, when that address wasn't used as much, take you to anywhere out there. Why? It's not in the subconscious yet of the system. Google works the exact same way. Algorithms work the exact same way. All of it's modeled after the brain. So when you go to Google, here's what happens. When you type in a word, ibuumerang, what comes up on the first page? Whatever outside of the paid advertisements, whatever has been searched and looked for the most comes up number one. Why? It's consistent. That means if you take whatever on the first page of ibuumerang in Google and we have 1 million people search it, that will come up 99% of the time, number one, with all 1 million people. Why? Because it's buried in there. It's the subconscious. It's like using a word over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Somebody asks you, are you going to succeed? Well, I'm going to give it my best. That's your subconscious that makes you say that. So when you go out and put effort in, here's what's going to happen. When you go out and you move towards sapphire, and we say, are you going diamond? When we send that signal of going diamond, what's come to your subconscious and out of your conscious is error. Why? You haven't put in enough that I am a diamond. I am an emerald. I am a ruby. I am a sapphire. I am a black diamond, a crown. I am a triple crown diamond. I know Thomas Pullen, I think one of his usernames is Triple Crown. It's an affirmation. That means that every time he logs into that, he has to use the name Triple Crown. It puts an affirmation. It's repetitive over and over. So in his navigational system, every time he's logging in, he's taking data, information into his navigational system. So when he sets his goals for crown, he believes it. And when you believe something, what happens with your belief is your belief will actually spark a corresponding or a congruent action. And your action will spark a corresponding and a congruent result as long as that action has skill-based training associated with it. Which means that your beliefs and your actions must be accurate. It must be accurate. Just because I get in the car and drive does not mean I'm going to the right destination. I can go extremely fast to the wrong place. But if I go over and over and over and over and over and over again, many of you, this is what you do when you wake up in the morning. You've gone to work at the same place for maybe a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, some longer. You don't even need to look at street signs anymore. You don't even need to look at the stoplights. You know which 5 lights down when it's going to turn red, green, and yellow. Why? You have been programmed because you've done it over and over and over, and you no longer read street signs. You don't even look at the turns. You can do the turn and do a 3-way conference call and put on lipstick looking in the rearview mirror all at the same time. Why? Because your subconscious brain knows exactly where to turn, where to apply the brake, where to accelerate, and when to release the steering wheel so that you can be straight back on the road. Take you to a new place, take you to a new destination, put new information in, say, hey, listen, I know you've never made $100,000 a year before, but we're going to put you on the road to $100,000 a year. New destination, new restaurant. I'm giving you examples, and what happens? You've got to look at every street sign if you don't have a navigational system. And you look, okay, I'm not there yet. And then you get to the next, that's not the street. And you get to the next, you have, why? It's not in there yet. This is why you're where you are in the business now. I am not the same HB that was making no more than $500 a month. This is HB. I don't know how many times I upgrade and download new software. Over and over and over and again is when I'm going to download that software. And what our goal is to give that to you, give it to you, and make it available to you. But we can't connect you. We can't hook you up. You got the same products. You got the same company, same system. The only difference is you. So are you going to tune in to success? So what we decided to do is to take matters in our own hands and be leaders. We decided that, today is what we call flight school. We know that we have some competition. We're very aware of that. And I already told you who our competition is. Our competition is not another network marketing company. When I was on a call with CEOs yesterday, we weren't talking about my company's better than yours and I sell a better technology than you. And no. We were talking about solutions. And we know that we got some competition. Here's who our competition is. Our competition, social media, Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, news, and neighbors. But I'm ready to defeat my competition. I'm bigger than my competition. I already know what their strategy is. I know what they don't know mine. I know what their strategy is. You know what their strategy is? Get as much viewing power and viewing time for me as possible. That's it. I know what, and they're going to win with some people, not with us. So here's what we're going to do. We know many of you are going to be working from home. And like we said, we're going to zoom, and the boom, boom. So what we're putting together for the remainder of this month is there will be no more flight school. Sorry. But starting Monday, is that Monday or tomorrow? Tomorrow. We're introducing Top Gun University. This is not going to be just a one-time a week thing. We're taking you to Top Gun University. Okay. And every day there's going to be multiple trainings that we're going to do. And I won't go through the schedule. I think they put it up already, right? Okay. Top Gun University, baby. We're prepared. Listen, we already said we're going to come out of this increasing our volume. We're going to come out of this with recruiting going through the sky. Okay. Hey, listen, I may deviate for a minute, but let me tell you what I did. Guys, this is why there's so many opportunities right now. This is why. While Tigre and Mark was sitting here preparing to get me up, I said, let me go check something real quick. This is why I love winning. This is why I love looking for that seed of greatness, that seed of opportunity, because in the midst of everybody saying, well, people won't travel. Why is it that travel is probably the biggest rebounder of any industry out there in the world? Because we're rebounders. By human nature, this is what we do. I went on our iGo platform. Let me give you some opportunities, okay? Now, here's the thing. Here's what we're going to do. You guys already know that we're going to have vision, right? You know we're going to have vision. We already told you the dates. I think it's the 19th through the 21st. 19th through the 21st. I went on the iGo platform. Why? Because I'm a winner. And I'm cheap. And I found 5-star hotels that I can book right now for $108 a night. 5-star hotels in Las Vegas. I found hotels for as little as $26 a night right now. I know I'm going to be there. Guess what I'm doing? I'm booking our corporate room. I'm booking all of our team rooms. I'm like booking them like, Anna, I'm going to be calling you. You're going to be booking these rooms now. Why? I already know what happens. The sky doesn't fall. I know that that's what I'm going to do. Right? Why? Because while everybody cancels a lot of meetings, do you know what's going to happen towards the end of the year? Everybody is going to try to book meetings. Everybody's going to try to travel all at one time and get out of the house and go here and go there. And I'm going to sit back and be like, how much did you pay for that room? Let me show you what I paid on my iGo platform. It's supply and demand, baby. Take advantage of it. Riley back yesterday, EB says, you should have bought some of that stock today. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on the road and I didn't have the account set up to buy that stock because it rebounds. It rebounds. I'm not going to give financial advice about what you should be buying. Right now is the time to buy. It's not the time to sell. It's the buying time. Don't panic. This is what successful people do. Remember, observe the masses and do the opposite. Always remember, it takes a strong fish to swim against the current, but any dead fish can float right along with everybody else. Sometimes you don't know whether they're dead or alive. Why? Because people go in herds and they float down. And is that a dead fish? I don't know. Is that a live fish? Find a fish going the opposite way. You know it's live. You know it's strong. You know they know something that everybody else don't know. So we're going to have Top Gun University. We're going to put the best of the best, our blue diamonds. We're going to put our master ambassador. We're going to have all of our top leaders that we have, Johnny Wembry, Cesar Munoz, Karen and Peter Hirsch, and Jose Luis, and all of our diamonds that we have. We're going to be coming in and we're going to be giving it. We're going to be having opportunity meetings like crazy. Guys, here is the time so that we can actually take advantage of working from home. We're going to show people how to zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Okay? How to zoom. Right now, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to give you an assignment. Here's what I want you to do. And I got to bring these guys back up here to close it out. Number one, okay? I want you to go and pick at least 3 books. 3 books. Okay. 3 books that I want you to have that you're going to start reading daily. When you get up in the morning, okay? When you get up in the morning, I need you to make a promise. I need you to make me a promise that your phone won't be the first thing you grab. All right? I want you to wake up every morning. Give your phone, give your brain a 15-minute break. When you sleep, that's when all the restorative properties of your brain are at work. That's when it's repairing everything. You're even shedding skin. Your brain is like, okay, now it's time to make you whole and new again. Let me ask you a question. If you had a brand new Mercedes-Benz, that new Mercedes-Benz 2020, would you take it from the dealership and drive right through the mud? Would you leave the dealership with that nice brand new white Mercedes-Benz and immediately go through the mud? You wouldn't do that to your Mercedes-Benz. Don't do it to this. And I'm talking to everybody out there, not just the Mercedes-Benz people. Okay, some people say, well, I have a Honda, or I know Anna saying, I have my Toyota. Okay, I know you wouldn't, right, Ann? But you wouldn't do that. Why do it to this? Why drag this through the mud? The first 15 minutes, no. You're coming off the dealership, it's all shined up. They shined it for you. The wheels are polished. Might have had you even a red bow on there. Okay? And what you do is you get behind that wheel, you feel good. You're sitting up nice and tall, paying attention to the road because you're brand new. Okay? And you feel good, you feel better. I want you to wake up every morning, your first 15 minutes, feeling good, feeling better. And I promise you, I'm going to lead. I'm going to do the same exact thing. I may put on put on what I call my uplifting music. Okay, whatever it is, we're going to do that. Grab your book, 3 books, and I want to make sure that throughout the day that you get at least 30 minutes of reading it. Minimum. I'm just giving you baby steps right now. 30 minutes of reading that we want you to do every single day. If you're going to be working from home, here's what I want you to do while you're working from home. Honestly, I don't want you to stay in your pajamas. I don't. We use that as something, just kind of an example of working in your pajamas. Put on your boom gear. If you're going to make calls, get ready like you're working. Don't take it for granted. Environment means everything. See, when you're in your pajamas, you perform like you're in your pajamas. If you walked around your house in a suit and tie, there's certain things you won't do. Okay? You're not going to be just lounging on the couch. I don't want to get my suit wrinkled and all. However it is that you dress when you do. Now, Spencer, I don't want you walking around, okay, all tied up or ascotted up or whatever it is. That's not what I want you doing, okay? But you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Spencer is just one of these. I mean, he's just one of the cleanest dressers that I know, all right? But you know what I'm talking about. Make sure that you set aside. Don't do work while the television's on, okay? Find a workplace. I don't care if you don't have to have a big house or a special office. Find your particular area where you're going to do work, and that's where you're going to do work, okay? And that's how I want you to segment that. I want to make sure that you write down your affirmations. Affirmations, first person, which means not I will, it's I am, present tense. Okay, first person, present tense. And when you speak them with enthusiasm. You speak them with alacrity. You speak them with emotion. I am a diamond. I am, whatever it is. I am a ruby. I do have 12 legs at the event. Why? We've got to get this programming done, okay? I want to make sure every single day when you wake up that who's on your list to invite to the calls every day? Because we're going to have calls every day, okay? Who's on your list? Because people are sitting at home who are not in network marketing. They're sitting there like, how am I going to pay for daycare 6 months from now or whatever? And they're waiting for somebody to call them and say, hey, listen, here's an opportunity for you to get on and really earn money while you're from home, okay? Don't buy into that, well, nobody's traveling now. And so what? So what? Give it 4 weeks, 6 weeks. Watch what happens. Okay? You won't be able to buy a plane ticket. Matter of fact, here's what you do. I'll give you guys a little secret. Buy your plane ticket now. Tigray just bought a plane ticket for his son to come home from California. It was $46. $46, okay? So buy it. They're gonna let you cancel it if you don't use it anyway. Buy it. This is a way for you to save. You buy low, sell high. Everybody likes to buy high and sell low. No, get it right now. Get yourself prepared. Go out there and do it right now. Find your hotel for Vegas. Book it now. I'm promising you, some people won't have rooms because I was on the phone with companies. They had 20,000 people who were supposed to be at their convention. One had 5,000, and all of these companies were canceling or postponing. They were about to do them now, but they're postponing to guess when? Between July and October, and many of them are going to fall right then in the time that we're there. And prices are going to go sky high. So do it now. Do it now. Get it done. Okay. So the other thing is just make a goal to make sure every day. Okay. Set a goal to make sure you communicate with your leaders every day. Every day. I don't care if it's just a simple chat. I don't care if it's whatever it is. You set up your front line, set up a message group with your front line, and you communicate with them every day. Okay. Hey guys, just want to let you know, man, I had a great 15-minute, I had a great 15-minute, just thinking session. Okay. My first 15 minutes was absolutely incredible. I don't care what it is, communicate with them every day. Right now is where we need to stay in touch as much as possible and bring everybody into your network. Bring them. Right now people are looking for leadership. We're going to provide it. You're going to provide it. We're the thermostats. They're the thermometers. Let's train them on how to be thermostats. Bring them into the network. Okay. And make sure that you're present every day. If you notice there, we're going to do something every day at 8 o'clock. It's going to be a simple 15-minute to 20-minute inspiration thing that we're going to do 8 o'clock Central Standard Time every day. And we're going to have one of our leaders just get on and just talk every day. You are going to get, here's what I can tell you. You're going to be so much better because of this. I'm not saying that this is a great thing to happen so you can be so much better, but we're making a decision that we're going to be better in spite of. Okay? There's nothing that we're going to allow to break our spirit, to break our enthusiasm, to break our direction. You may put a road bump up there and a speed limit sign that says, okay, for a second, you got to go around it or go over it. Like Edwin Haynes said, we're going to go right through that thing. And that's what we're going to do. But that's what we're designed to do. And that's what we are going to do. And I can't wait. I've got more training. I'm not giving everything to you today, but I wanted to show you how to get yourself prepared. You get all of this done. You start doing those affirmations and read your affirmations to you at least 100 times a day. Okay? That's your assignment. That's what I want you to do. It Takes Two calls. Let's pack those suckers out. Let's make it happen. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, from your CEO to you, I love each and every one of you. I can't wait to see you wherever it is that we're going to be in the world, but I definitely will see you on our next Zoom. So I'm going to bring back T. Gray, and I'll bring up Mark back as well. See you guys. Love you.